Yes, mates, how's it going? My name's Lee. This video is a part of a mini-series where I'll focus on one team from the Premier League per video, and in this we'll predict lineups, tactics and decide who's a viable FPL option for the 23-24 FPL season. If you enjoy FPL content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Nice little click down below. Anyway, this video will focus on this lot. Let's rock and roll. So I think Chelsea are going to line up in a 4-3-3 with Kepa in goal. However, they have just completed the sign of Robert Sanchez from Brighton for about 25 mil. He's a goalkeeper who's valued at 4.5 million in FPL. So it'll be interesting to see who is the number one and how they're going to play it from there. It's a bit too risky to kind of pick one right now, and I'd rather avoid it. So I think in defence will be Reece James. I think they'll start with Thiago Silva, Lewis Colwill and Chilwell in defence. And then the midfield three will be Gallagher, Chukwuemeka and Enzo, with a forward line of Sterling, Jackson and Mudryk. Unfortunately, Nkunku did get injured the other day, but I don't think it's as bad as first feared. But I think he will miss the Liverpool game, and then it's just to be assessed from there. I haven't put him in my starting lineup for now. I do think it'll be Chukwuemeka who's going to start. Slightly more advanced of Gallagher and Enzo. I think that those two will sit as a double pivot. Chukwuemeka will advance and be almost like the number 10 floating in behind Jackson. You'll notice each player's got a little symbol next to the name. A cross means that they're not a viable FPL option. So that's Kepa, Thiago Silva, Gallagher and Enzo. These I think just don't offer too much value, like in my opinion. The ones with the question marks are potential ones. So I think Lewis Colwill at 4.5 mil. It's a bit of a bargain, to be honest. And if if he is going to start like it's looking that way, I think he might be like a serious consideration for game week 1. Chukwuemeka I think is a potential pick, but it just depends how long he's going to be in the starting lineup for. I do think he'll start against Liverpool, but I don't know how much longer he'll be in the team after that, and because of that, that's the reason why it's a question mark. If Nkunku was out for longer and it was more guaranteed that he was going to start for maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks, that would probably be a tick. I don't mind someone taking a chance on something like that. That's not a risk worth taking for me, and I want my 4.5 million backup midfielder at least to be playing every single week, and whether that's someone like in a Canberra getting 2 points every week is kind of better than whether he's going to play or not. In terms of the forward line, I think they're all potential picks. I think Sterling at 7 mil is a bit of a bargain, and Jackson has looked quite good in pre-season. And I don't mind someone going for something like that. Like I would have preferred an Nkunku, who looks like he's going to be on penalties, but now he's out. I think we'll go to Reece James, who's going to take pens. And I don't mind Mudryk, especially after the first 2 games. So they've got Liverpool in game week 1, and they're expected to score 1.34 goals in that game. And there's a 21% chance that they're going to keep a clean sheet within that game. But after especially the first one, I think the West Ham game is probably harder than people make out. But kind of Luton and Forest in game week 3 and 4, against Luton, expect to score 1.62 goals and there's a 46% chance that they're going to keep a clean sheet. I don't mind going for an extra defender in someone like a Chilwell, keep him on the bench for even the first 2 and then bringing him in for 3 and 4. I can definitely don't mind something like that. But so at the opening 5 games, Chelsea expected to score about 7 or 8 goals and keep between 1 and 2 clean sheets within those opening fixtures. So it's all about trying to identify where those goals are going to come from. I think it will focus through Jackson with supply from the fullbacks. Pochettino likes to push his fullbacks really far forward, and you saw Chilwell in some friendlies absolutely ripping players apart and teams apart. I think Chilwell is a great option. I actually think he's probably a better option than James right now, but I think they are both good options because James is on a lot of set pieces. He might be on pens as well, and I think that kind of pushes things in his favour ever so slightly. They've had a pretty good pre-season. They scored a lot of goals and they played in a lot of games. As you can see, Nkunku has been heavily involved. Jackson's been heavily involved in goals and assists. Even Chilwell's popped up with a goal and assist as well. So the goals are definitely spread around, and there's a lot of options within there as well. They've also completed the signing of Disasi from Monaco, and that's to cover the aging and everlasting Thiago Silva. He's about 75 now, mate, and he's just hanging around. But yeah, I think Disasi will. I think once Disasi's up to speed, he will replace Thiago Silva. They have unfortunately got some injuries to the back line in Fofana and Badiashile, who both look like they're going to be out for quite a considerable amount of time. So those two aren't options at all, and that's the reason why I think Colwell is going to be such an option. Though I've got some potential other players that might take minutes off them as well, someone like a Cucurella or maybe a Gusto at right back, depending on James's fitness. But I'm pretty confident the back line is going to be James, Thiago Silva, Colwell and Chilwell. I like at least for the opening 2 or 3 weeks, definitely. So who have you gone for Chelsea? Have you got anyone in your team for game week 1? Are you going down the route of bringing Chilwell in and not playing him against Liverpool, and then you've got him in as first sub, and then you can bring him in up against West Ham, Luton and Forest? Are you going to go down the budget route of Chukwuemeka or Colwell? I think there are some decent options in there, especially when those fixtures change in game week 3 and 4. I can see myself going for someone like a Nicholas Jackson, or going like a Matoma to a Mudryk. I could see myself doing that, definitely. Are you thinking about going for anyone? Have you got anyone in your team right now? Leave a comment down below. Let's have a little chat. Right, mates, that's it for today's video. So we covered predicted lineups and who I consider to be a viable FPL option. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Anyway, have a nice day. Peace and love.